Hi everyone, a very good afternoon. Welcome to the third installment of our Cloud Appreciation series. I'm Wansin from SGTech. So we'll begin the webinar right now. So once again, a very warm welcome to all, right? And thank you so much for taking time out, your lunchtime to join us. This webinar is brought to you by SGTech's Cloud and Data Chapter and in support of Cloud Asia. And as you know, there are in total 5 appointed partners under the National Go-Kart Program that's led by IMDA. Today, we are very honored to have Google Cloud and Comrade here with us. So as the name suggests, we are here to appreciate concepts around cloud-native applications. More importantly, how to leverage that to seize the golden window of opportunities, especially in the current environment. So just some quick housekeeping before we commence the program proper. Right, this session will be recorded for archival and communication purposes. Right, the recording will also be made available post-webinar on SGTech's website. And I'd just like to take this chance to also encourage our audience to post any questions that you have along the way, and we would address them towards the end during the Q&A segment. Okay, so today we have an amazing lineup of speakers. Right, as you can see here, to shed light on how your business can leverage cloud native and available support to kickstart your journey. And without further ado, I'd like to invite our chairman for the Cloud and Data Chapter, Mr. Guna Sekaran Chalapan, to address the audience. Guna, over to you, please.
Thanks, Wansin. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Guna. I'm the chairman of the Cloud and Data Chapter of SGTech, and in the day, I'm the general manager for Red Hat for Singapore. Warm welcome to everyone and our two speakers today as well from Google and IMDA. What I would like to just share with you a little is about what SGTech does. SGTech plays basically a very important role in developing and implementing initiatives that strengthen and grow digitalization across businesses in Singapore, tech industry, and the community at large. SGTech members include startups, medium organizations, large organizations, or multinationals. And because of new technologies coming up, especially in the digital world, our scope of membership has gone beyond technology providers to literally end users who are leveraging technology to serve their customers. So, and it's just not about fintech, but it could be any organization that relies on technology as their core business. There are 6 chapters within SGTech, which allows us to offer focused support and development to the various sectors within the tech industry, and cloud and data is one of our chapters. The chapter's primary responsibility is to help organizations, help member companies leverage the cloud as their platform or a utility to grow their business. We engage and add value to the ecosystem through our program of the 5 Cs. We talk about creating, conducting, connect, collate, and collaborate. And the whole Cloud Appreciation series is an initiative under Conduct, where we're basically helping organizations get started on cloud and giving them ideas in terms of how they can actually execute the transformation plan. So going cloud native is not just a matter of changing your software architecture or going on cloud. Going cloud native is not just about picking up new skills. To transform or to succeed in this, solution providers and organizations need to really change or fundamentally change the way you think about the service or the product that you're providing and your business strategy. You need to get both of this working together in terms of your business model and your strategy. Otherwise, it will not work, right? And not all business owners are able to manage it alone, and they will need help. And that's where this today's webinar is all about. It's a joint effort between the Cloud and Data Chapter of SGTech, as well as the appointed partners of IMDA's Go-Cloud Program. So today we've got Google and Comrade here to share. I thank them for sharing their experience with our attendees today. We've got more than 100 representatives in the industry that are participating. So I hope that the sharing and the learnings would be robust and good. At the end of the day, at the end of this session, I'll take on our question and answer. So if you have any key questions or that you'd like to ask the speakers, just put it into the chat and I'll pick it up later, and we'll have the panel session at the end of the session where we can get those questions answered. So on that note, I trust that you find this session a meaningful and insightful one. Let me hand over back to Wansin.
Thank you, Guna, for the address. So with that, Our first speaker for today is Ms. Jyotika Mohan, Head of APAC Small and Medium Business, Google Cloud. Jyotika has been a part of the initial team that set up the foundation of the small and medium business team for Google Cloud in 2015. As head of APAC, she is responsible for driving adoption of cloud technology among emerging businesses in Southeast Asia and North Asia countries. Jyotika will take us through why a hybrid or multi-cloud strategy is critical, key principles for success, and how Google Cloud empowers you to do so. Over to you, please, Jyotika.
Thank you very much, Monchin. I'm very excited to speak to you all about a topic that I'm very, very passionate about. And I also think this year, particularly, with all of us working remotely, businesses running remotely, and their employees working from home, has really shifted everyone's perspective about the need for technology to really support that kind of change and transition that could come about in world anytime. So with the rise of all the digital devices in our daily lives and software technologies, it's become very, very apparent that businesses are going digital. And when we say businesses are going digital, they are going to need a very solid backbone of IT infrastructure, which is going to come from cloud technology. Looking at our researchers from Gartner and IDC, we've come to understand that by next year, 75% of mid-size or big businesses are going to be on some kind of cloud technology, whether it's going to be a multi-cloud or whether it's going to be a hybrid cloud technology. By the year after that, which is 2022, if any business needs to continue to innovate for their success, they're going to need to have cloud technology. So 90% of the businesses that are going to continue to innovate or going to have a need for innovation will have to do it through a cloud technology. And most importantly, I think the direction in which we're headed is the fact that in next 5 years to come, the amount of data in this world is going to increase and swell up by almost 5 times. So in 5 years, 5 times. And that would mean that, if we have so much more data, our on-prem or monolithic apps or, our old systems, bare metal systems are not going to be sufficient for us to really store that data, get intelligence out of it, and build the speed that we need for our businesses to get ahead. So that is the reason why Google Cloud becomes a very important partner for you, for the reasons that it is really, really different in providing you an infrastructure for you to store your IT needs, and also at the same time really build that application or a microservices that is going to be helpful for your business to succeed in the new world or the new norm that we are in. So the reason why Google Cloud is different from other cloud services providers is because for us, security starts from the first stage of your life cycle of app development or the IT infrastructure migration that you may be looking for, which means we don't just look at protecting systems and data, but also look at protecting users. So the layers of security are really embedded at each step of the app development that you're going to be looking for. Most importantly, Google Cloud is the kind of cloud solution that does not require you to have any kind of lock-in. It doesn't matter what kind of system you're coming from, whether you're coming from a completely on-prem system, you had a server in your backyard, or whether you're coming from another cloud service provider. The kind of migration services we provide and the way we build this infrastructure is equally open for hybrid or a multi-cloud solution. Most importantly, it's a fully managed cloud service, which means your developers don't have to spend time anymore in managing your on-prem servers to make sure there's nothing coming down, etc. And while you're doing all of this is going to be like your entire experience on cloud is going to be powered by our AI and ML services. And I'm going to be talking in detail about why. But those services and the way we've simplified them at Google Cloud, that make it really easy for your developers to deploy them in your applications and your microservices. And most importantly, I think what really differentiates is the fact that at Google, as employees, we live and breathe our focus and commitment to innovation. And you know, Google as a company has been innovating really fast as compared to the rest of the world. When we work with our customers and partners, our endeavor is to take the same focus of innovation to our customers. So when we become your partner and we partner with you to build your next app or your next microservice, we're going to be trying to translate the same innovation into your business model. And that we've seen brings a really powerful transformation into your digital transformation journey that you would be looking for. So talking about what is really a strategy for the digital transformation that I just spoke to you about. The fact that your application development is going to be serverless, it can be a hybrid or a multi-cloud environment. And most importantly, the way we build solutions for you, we want your developers' focus to be on innovation. They should be focusing most of their time on building the codes, deploying it, testing, trying, experimenting, so that you're able to deliver a really solid experience for your consumers and for your end users, whether they're businesses or a consumer. Also, your app dev is not just about app dev. Once you've built your application, you're going to be collecting a lot of data through that application. And you need a really solid partner who will be able to provide you data management. And not just data management, at the basic level of storage, but someone who can really deploy smart analytic systems and AI and ML on top of that data to give you really intelligent insights. And that's what is going to give you, that innovation and that speed and that collaboration that I'm talking about. And let me take you a step further on what that means for our app dev approach specifically. So when I'm talking about, developing application with Google Cloud Platform, your developers will be able to not just build and write the code, but they will also be able to update the code, experiment with it, deploy it, and rerun it in the same screen at the same time. What that means is they will not be spending time anymore in switching off the systems, finding a time when they can do a new software update. It's all going to be so seamless that it's not going to cause any negative disruption to your business or to the experience of your end users. And that's the kind of power we're talking about. And that's also a great boost for your developers, because then they're going to be focusing completely on innovation and not on handling issues and problems and gaps in the infrastructure. And that's the kind of service that we're looking to develop. And when I speak about, why Google Cloud is really different when it comes to artificial intelligence and machine learning, is because we really layer it at your infrastructure level. What that means is we have simplified artificial intelligence and machine learning as a service for your developers to just take it and deploy. Our endeavor at Google Cloud has been to make it so simple that you don't need that. It should not look like a moonshot. It should be a service that you just pick up, deploy, and then you improve on it and build intelligence and insights from it as you go. And that's the power of solution that you will be delivered with when you work with Google Cloud Platform. Moving to the next slide. Why I spoke about all of these things, is because really at the heart of it, one word that I was repeating all the time was speed. Right. In today's world, for you to go to market really, really quickly and to outpace your competition and to really get ahead, two things that really going to differentiate you is going to be, one, your speed to get to market quickly. And when I say speed to get to market, depending upon what kind of business you run, it could mean speed to get to your consumers or speed to get to your partners or businesses, etc. And the second is going to be the innovation. That is really going to differentiate you and the kind of experiences that you will be able to build for your end users. I was talking about, why we want to, when your developers work with Google Cloud, they also have a really solid experiences, because given studies, we found that even today, 1/3 of developers are spending their time as IT managers or system engineers, because they're working with, monolithic systems. They're working with, bare metal on-prem solutions where things are breaking all the time. There are gaps that they're trying to build bridges with, and that's taking away a lot of time from them, which could be time spent on innovation. So when your developers work with Google Cloud, we really bridge that gap and really give them the power to innovate, and that is going to give the speed to your business. So, really what comes together at the heart of Google Cloud is the fact that you will be able to really see the simplification of, how easy and simple it is to really build a cloud native application. And we'll talk to you, later a bit more about how our partners can come in and help you, and our customer engineers and teams will come and help you and partner with you when you're building your first app, or maybe your second or the third one. The most important thing, or the focus that we're going to have in this process, is for you to be able to deliver a really winning customer experience through your applications. And when you're doing all of that, you should be able to operate and scale with confidence, which means we will provide you fully unmanaged DevOps, which means we'll take away your stress of, do I need to plan for servers? Let's say, for example, the traffic on your application today is 50 users and tomorrow it becomes 500,000. You should not have to worry about, do I have virtual machines in place? Do I have the speed and the infrastructure to be able to run that kind of application? That is something that will be taken care by Google Cloud, because we will be able to spin extra servers for you in fraction of seconds and make sure when you don't need them, scale it down too, so that you're saving your costs. So you don't get to lock in, at the same time you save your TCO costs. And most importantly, you get all of this value with cloud, with security really at the layer and the heart of every step of your app development lifecycle. And that is really, really important to us, because eventually what we're saying is we want to increase your reliability on Google Cloud Platform, and you want to reduce your production risk. And when we reduce your production risk, what that really means for you is, your TCO costs go down. You don't have to deal with, the operational anxiety or complexity that used to happen in, old school world, where you have to, predict and project and plan for VMs in advance, and then go and secure them, and then they're always lying for you unused if you don't need them at that time. So what that means is you are able to build in a really, really simple way. We are able to simplify it for you in when you're ready to build your cloud native application. You're able to operate with confidence. We take away the complexity of scaling up or down. We provide security at each step and level of this app building life cycle. And when your data increases more and more and more, you will see that you will have the ability to not just ingest, store, and process, but be able to use that data for intelligence within minutes, because of the AI and smart analytics, AI and ML solutions that will be integrated in your app development lifecycle. And what I want to leave you with is, a lot of people come to us and they think AL and MI is a moonshot, and it's a very complex technology. But what we've done at Google is that we've really simplified them into very simple APIs and tools that your developers can really literally pick and deploy within minutes, and build intelligence over it and improve those models as you go. And when you do all of this, you can be rest assured that you're secure in terms of security as well as reliability and production risk at every step with Google Cloud Platform. And what that means overall is that your application will have really top level of performance. With your application, you'll be available to your consumers, users, businesses 99.99% of time, because that's the commitment that we have to keep our servers up and running, for you to, just focus on innovation, building an application, making sure you're building a really world-class experience for your end users. So summing it up, the need for you to modernize your application is so that you have speed and agility in your business. You don't have to worry about stacking, storing VMs. So you have that kind of operational resilience. You are faster whenever your software has to be updated and has to be, delivered across multiple devices. And at the same time, you work with an open and secure cloud. So you avoid any kind of lock-in with Google Cloud Platform, and that lowers your TCO. So some of the takeaways that I want to leave you with is when you walk out of this webinar, you'll hear from our other partners also. But what I want you to start thinking about is how you will move from your monolithic environment, if you are in one, to microservices. And when you do that, think of picking a technology provider or a cloud service provider who has deep-rooted interest in open source, someone like Google Cloud who has built the entire infrastructure on open source, and a partner like Google Cloud who has tried and tested these DevOps methodologies in our own business, in our own applications. And those are the best practices that we as partners will be able to share with you and make sure we're there to help you succeed in your application. And when you do all of that with us, I want you to know that the speed and stability, both for your application, are definitely possible at the same time. We have seen that when people move from monolithic application to microservices or cloud native application, their developers are able to deploy codes faster, which means more innovation. They're able to deploy codes 46 times faster. The lead time from a commitment of a software update to actually deploying the software update is 2,505 times faster. So that's the power we're talking about. If there is ever any incident, if you're on cloud, your ability to recover and come back from the incident is almost 2,600 times faster. And any change failure that comes with application development or software update, that reduces 7 times. This is the power we're talking about when you're building your next microservice or cloud native application with Google Cloud. So I'd like you to start thinking about outlining your goals, really set success metrics for what your application will look like and what would be the success metric for it, and start with a small pilot. You don't have to start very, very big, but start with a small pilot, see the results and proof for yourself, and then start expanding. And that's the promise and the value of also working with a open and a secure cloud. Thank you so much. I'm going to be here to take Q&As in the end. For now, I'd like to pass back to Wanshin to introduce you to our next presenter.
Thank you so much, Jyotika. So I hope that gives the audience, right, a good overview on how and what cloud native can do for your business. So with that, we have heard from Jyotika on those insights. Now, I'd like to invite Mr. Richard Sell. He's a partner manager at Comrade. We'll be sharing an introduction to Comrade and how Comrade can help businesses like yourself, right, to kickstart your cloud native journey. So Comrade, as the name suggests, specializes in cloud computing, infrastructure capabilities, and cloud security. They have successfully enabled more than 300 corporates across ASEAN to leverage cloud. Please, Richard.
Okay, thank you, Wansing. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Richard. I'm the partner manager in Cloud Comrade, and I'm also the program manager for Go Cloud in Cloud Comrade. So let me take you through today on who we are, and also I'll share more in depth into what Go Cloud program is all about. So I'm from Cloud Comrade. So our motto is everything cloud, anything can. So I love that motto. So let me share more into details of who we are. So our headquarters is established in Singapore in 2014. So we house the management and also our sales team, consulting, managed services, and back office functions. And we have sales office across Singapore, Indonesia in Jakarta, and also Malaysia in Kuala Lumpur. So we also have a delivery team whereby our SRT team sits in Indonesia and India, whereby they provide 24/7 monitoring services, managed services, customer support, and also SAP Competency Center based in Malaysia. So we do have our consulting team in 5 cities: Singapore, Jakarta, Batam, Bangalore, and KL. So we deliver cloud services to our customers there. And we do have multiple implemented projects across various industry, from SME to enterprises. So sharing more about our Google expertise credibility. So Cloud Comrade, we are a Google Premier Tier partner. So we are the only Southeast Asia headquartered Google Cloud Premier partner, and also a Google Cloud Premier partner with the highest number of expertise globally, with more than 30 expertise, as you can see here in this table. So we do product technologies like analytics, compute, databases, moving on to workloads, VM migrations, SAP workloads, and we do that across all industries: automotive, education, energy, finance, FSI, so as you name it. So on this slide itself, we also wanted to showcase our capabilities for SAP partnership and also ISO IEC 27001 certifications. So actually that's more of an international standard on how to manage information and security. So I have here some landing pages for more info. Then you can actually click in if they're available to understand more about Cloud Comrade in terms of what we do, and also all our Google specializations, success stories that we have built up over the years with our enterprise and SME customers on Go-Kart Program, on GCP, and also on Google G Suite, Google Workspace now. Okay, so just to share a bit more about Cloud Comrade's core services offerings, we will start you off throughout your whole journey. We'll be there for you throughout your whole cloud journey. You want to get started? We will start with strategizing and also moving on to designing what is the project plan that you're looking at, and actually be involved with the deployment and migration of your workloads to cloud. And also after that, once you have deployed all your workloads, we do provide managed services and also enhancing your security with the best practices. So we take you through from start to end of the cloud migration journey. So we are born in a cloud company. So we help customers with our core strengths, which lies in cloud computing and migration, infrastructure optimization, and cloud security. So as Wansing has also mentioned, we have delivered more than 500 projects and helped more than 300 customers across ASEAN in their cloud journey. So our consulting piece of our services, we do, for example, cloud POC. If you are interested to migrate to cloud to enjoy the benefits of the scalability, the flexibility, and the cost reduction, CTO, right, TCO. So cloud adoption consultancy also, migration deployment, as I've mentioned, we cover the security aspects, and also including data analytics and AI/ML. Our managed services team handles multi-cloud infra monitoring and also cloud security and compliance for you, SAP technical-wise, and database applications and managed resources. So simply put, this is our set of core service offerings that we do for all our customers that we have across Singapore, Jakarta, KL, and also India. So basically, if you can look here, we cover all aspects of an infrastructure, but on cloud. So we start off with the compute, the network, the storage, then we can provide platform as a service, manage database, and even touch into containers if you want to migrate and move your monolith apps into microservices. So serverless, and big data, security, and government and management. So we cover all aspects, all pillars here that you can see. So that's what we do for our cloud adoption services. And I would like to touch on one of our core managed services offering. We are offering SAP managed services. So Google Cloud, the cloud provider, will actually manage the physical infra. So this is the customer responsibility model. But on top of this infra, there is the backup and recovery, OS admin and security, and also the SAP application technical layer that customers like yourself will have to take care. So Cloud Comrade, we can come into the picture to help offload you and also help you to set up best practices with our pool of experienced technical folks. So we help to manage infrastructure support, SAP basis, governance, and security, backup, billing, and recovery. So this is something that I would like to share on our managed services for SAP. So there is this thing called the PSG grant for Google Workspace. I will touch a bit on this before I move on to the meat of the pie, which is our Go-Kart program. So PSG grant for Google Workspace, right? So you can actually enjoy up to 80% funding supported by IMDA. These offers end on 31st December 2020. So if you are looking to start, look into Google Workspace or previously named G Suite, do feel free to let me know. I have a team of experts ready to help you embark on your journey. So the eligibility criteria, you have to be registered in Singapore, and the equipment, which is the G Suite or Google Workspace, must be used in Singapore. And you must not have made any payment to any supplier in relation to the purchase of this G Suite. Now, let me move on to Go-Kart program. So what is the Go-Kart program all about? It's actually a journey, a program, right, whereby you can embark on to get started on your microservices journey. And end of the day, you can get your engineers trained also. So that's the outcome that I'll share later. This whole IMDA program aims to help customers like yourself achieve what Jayu has mentioned: speed, ops resilience, and also reduce TCO, right? So it's split into 3 different steps. So first step, we will enter the scope phase. So Cloud Comrade will come together with customer. We'll do a one-to-one project scoping session whereby we define the outcome and the goals and capabilities to be developed over the span of this program. So we will need customers to commit 2 or more developer resources. So, and then we will come up with deliverable A, which is the project plan. So moving on to step 2. This is the train portion, whereby customers, your ICT SME development team, can actually tap onto IMDA grants on CTRAP courses. So there are courses about Google fundamentals and also cloud fundamentals, microservices, getting started on what is microservices, what is a monolith app compared to a microservice, containers, right? So there are this whole set and list of trainings whereby I have the whole list of modules for you to choose from that you can embark on in step 2 with funding from IMDA. So after your development team is trained, we will move on to the main phase of the IMDA Go-Cloud program. So step 3, putting it into practice. Cloud Comrade will serve as a consultant and also the guide, consultant party, right, for you to embark on your microservices journey. So we will be discussing with you the product architecture design, and we will be conducting a 3-day workshop also, whereby we can continue to coach your development team and also to do a discovery workshop to actually finalize in further details on what is the end goal, what do you want to achieve. And we work together with the ICT SME development team to come up with that application design. So we will help you to understand the application functionalities, and also end of the day, design one of the service or modules to be decoupled into a microservice. We do not only limit ourselves to one. This whole program sets you off on your whole journey. It's a first stepping stone into these microservices roadmaps for your whole company. So we are flexible to not only develop one, but the main minimum requirement for this program is one microservice. So under step 3, the first deliverable you will get is a high-level product architecture design. Then we will move on to the next stage, whereby we will set up the GCP platform for your utilization. So on this note, do take note, under this program, there is free GCP credits of up to SGD $3,000 to prototype your cloud-native application. So during this phase, we will set up the GCP environment and also share more on the CI/CD deployments and best practices, because we do have some customers, they say, oh yeah, I thought with Kubernetes, I thought with open source containers, right? So how do we set up the CI/CD pipelines, how to set up the best practices, how to automate the flow, right? So that's where on GCP, So that's where we can come into the picture as consultants. And also we work together with our SME development team to actually decouple and develop the selected services. We will guide them to how to containerize the service and also how to leverage on GCP platform. And lastly, we will end off with a test. And at the end of this, we will get a GCP environment and also a deployed cloud native microservice. And throughout this whole program, what is the two main things that you will get from this program is that you get trained developers because of step 2 and step 3, right? We will be working together hand in hand together with them. So moving on, day 2, whereby you need to make some tweaks and adjustment to your CI/CD pipelines or your application microservices. Your trained developers are there. And also you already have a deployed microservices on Google Cloud. So 80% of total service fee for this whole program, up to SGD 24,000, it will be funded by IMDA. So basically, this is a quick summary of what Go Cloud program is all about. And if you have any further questions, you can feel free to put it in the Q&A box and I'll be here to address it. So lastly, eligibility. So ICT SMEs will have an SSIC code. So you will have to have your local technical team, IP of your product, and also positive net equity, minimum 30% shareholding, and annual sales turnover is not more than 100 million or not more than 200 workers. So with your SSIC code, if you are interested, feel free to reach out to myself. I can actually do an assessment of your eligibility. So what we need actually is your commitment from management to get started on this Go Cloud program together with us and committed resources, at least of two app developers, right? So how to get started? Just email myself, or you can visit my website at www.cloudcomrade.com.info/GoCloud. So this is all I have to share today. So thanks for hearing me out. So on this note, I'll pass the mic back over to Wansing.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Richard, for the very comprehensive overview. Right. So I guess now, hearing from our speakers, our audience might have some burning questions about how you can actually take action, right, to kickstart this journey. I'll now hand over the time to Guna, our chairman, right, who will facilitate a short Q&A and panel with our speakers. Guna, over to you, please.
Hey, thanks, Vincent. So thanks everyone for submitting the questions. So maybe I'll start off with the first question, the most important one, right? How can I get started with the Go Cloud program? So Richard, you shared the steps involved. Maybe Yoya, you would like to share from a Google perspective, what are the steps involved to get started?
Yes, thank you, Guna, and I think that's a great question. My suggestion to any business starting off on cloud would be to really think of a pilot. If you are able to identify what your business goal is and bring it to us, we will be able to help you identify what is the kind of pilot that you should be running. When you run a small pilot, you're not increasing your you're not increasing your risk. You get a flavor and feel of what it is to be on cloud. And that is something that we have our premier partner, Cloud Comrade, on board. You just heard Richard talk about various steps in which Richard can help you. We also are on IMDA panel to bring the funding that you would need initially to fund you and also train your developers. So I would say start with a small pilot, and I'd also like to invite Richard to talk about what are the other steps that you could take and where Cloud Comrade with Google Cloud can also help you.
Thank you, Jayo. So how do we get started on this Go Cloud program? So first things first, you can drop me an email at richard@cloudcomrade.com. So moving forward, once I get the request, what Cloud Comrade will do, right? We will actually go through an in-depth sharing session of what Go Cloud program is all about, mapping it and also understanding your needs. So that's what we always do. We want to understand end of the day what's your goal and achievement to achieve, or running any applications into microservices. So I will also help. The first step is also to clear for clearance of eligibility, right? So we will understand your pain point and understand the app or infra design and the needs of your company. Thereafter, we will actually craft up a proposal to be sent to you, then to see how Go Cloud can help to address your current issues and reach the end goal that you require. before we officially move into the step 1 of the Go-Kart program, which I have just mentioned earlier, which is to come up with the project plan. So this is how you can get started on your Go-Kart journey together with Cloud Comrade.
Hey, thanks, Richard. There's a question from Eric Tang, which is a continuation of that question. So maybe I'll ask it. So while we don't want to go into all the details about what is the actual scope, etc., but how does your team actually go about helping to do the discovery piece, to identify the scope? Typically, what needs to be done from your side, and what is it to be done from the end user side, right? What is the company that's migrating the application? What do they need to do? Maybe we can just walk through high level the steps.
Okay, high level wise, first things first, as mentioned, we will do the discovery together with your developers before we move into the second step, whereby they will get some trainings on their end with the fundings from IMDA for the SGTech courses. So in third step, we will start to drill into the applications and design that you are looking at before our consultants and our coaches come into the picture to work hand in hand together with your developers to craft up the high-level product architecture design, right? So after the architecture design is ready, we will move on to creating it together with you. We will be there guiding the customers, because just now, as per what I've shared in my Go-Cloud deck itself, right? I have listed out the scope of work and also a very high-level description of how we can help the customers to embark on their journey. And also in step 3, what are the pieces of the puzzle that falls under Cloud Comrade and also customers. But do take note, Cloud Comrade throughout the whole step 3, we will be there to guide and guide customers on the Go-Kart program and also give consulting services, right? So I hope that answers your question. Can feel free to let me know. We can look further in depth into case-by-case scenarios.
Thanks, Richard. As you've shared your email ID, and we will share it at the end again, they can reach out to you directly as well. So we've got another question in terms of the funding. The 80% funding that's available, is it only with for Google, or is it for Cloud Comrade as well, or how does the 80% funding work?
Okay, so the 80% funding actually comes under this Go-Cloud program, whereby we will have to work together with Cloud Comrade, and we will be working together with Google. So specifically, Google and Cloud Comrade get started on a Go-Cloud journey, and you will be able to claim up to 80% from IMDA at the end once you have microservices set up on the GCP platform. So it's limited to Cloud Comrade and Google.
Thanks, Richard. Within you and Goya, can you share maybe successful examples of companies that Cloud Comrade has worked with in terms of the migration? It may be a sensitive point about the cost, but if you can share some indicative costs as well in terms of what was the effort involved, timeline, was it a week's work or was it a month's worth of work? Would you be able to share?
Okay, actually we have, let me share one of our use case whereby we have a customer called Drop My Site. So we have worked together with them on this IMDA program, and also we, end of the day, over a course of 4 months to 5 months, right, we have actually deployed out microservices for them. So that is one of our customers. Then they, end of the day, they actually deployed their apps on GCP, and they have this fully functional, and they also have fully functional applications, and they also have their trained developers moving on to be able to handle day 2 operations. So that is one of our success story. So maybe Jayo, you want to share more on any GCP instances?
Yes, there are multiple GCP customer stories. We've had, so it really depends upon, you know, the industry, vertical, size of the business, age of the company. But we have various customer stories. They're also listed on our website. So if you search Google Cloud in Google search engine and you type customer stories, you will be able to see a lot of customer stories. I can share some names locally from Singapore. So Dropsuite is one of them. We have a lot of AI ML companies. We are seeing a lot of fintech companies come on Google Cloud. We're also seeing some of the very niche businesses. And of course, at this point, retail and healthcare, we're seeing very fast move to cloud.
Hey, thanks, Jaya. So one of the questions that was asked is, so what's the unique selling point for Google? There are 5 providers as part of the Go Cloud program. So maybe you would like to share something about why Google? GCP?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the biggest USPs. Actually, there's not one. There are like 2 or 3 that I'd like to talk about. The really big one is the fact that Google really is leading industry's foundation for artificial intelligence and machine learning, to an extent that we use AI and ML models even internally while doing our jobs at Google. And we've made them so simple that for your business to really start deploying AI and ML is really, clicks of a few buttons, and then it is customizable. So you can actually inform and make the model more intelligent as per your business need. So that is one really big one. And that is something that we're committed to. So we will continue to, really work in that regard, and which means you will have more and more intelligence for your business when you work with Google Cloud and use those AI ML capabilities really bundled at a foundation of our infrastructure. The other really important USP that I want to talk about, which is unique to Google all across industries, is the fact that we've always had a culture of innovation and, looking at moonshots, 10x growth. That's how, Google's work on self-driven cars and so much work that has been done in healthcare technology has really come out. We try to take that focus to our customers and really transform and help them, really transform the way they look at technology and, deliver that kind of innovation culture to them too. So when a really traditional business works with us, we're really able to open their, windows to a world of innovation. And that, I would say, is also a very strong USP. We're seeing a lot of small and medium businesses and startups come and work with us, where they say they want to work with us because the kind of culture and the speed that they see in working with Google employees, they don't see that kind of culture anywhere else.
Thank you. We coming to the end of the session, so maybe I'll close off with one last question. So maybe any closing point from you, Goya, and then Richard, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yes, the only thing that I'd like to share or leave with is I'd really encourage you to, when you move out of this webinar, to really think about what is the need. Are you ready to actually move to a cloud native infrastructure application? Are you ready to build a cloud native microservices? And if you're at all feeling that you want to discuss, feel free to reach out to me. My email is jyotika@google.com. I'll also post it for you, or reach out to Richard. And we are here to really help and partner with you to discuss what would be your next first pilot to start seeing the results and the power of cloud for your own business. Thank you, Guna.
Thanks, Jaya. And Richard, anything you'd like to add before you wrap up? Maybe you can re-emphasize next thing, the first step that everyone needs to do right after this.
Okay. So for any interested customers, do feel free to drop. I have entered my email address and also our company's website for more info on Go-Kart Program into the chat. So do feel free to reach out to myself. So we have already addressed what's the next step that you can do. If you're interested, feel free to let me know. And also, if you have any questions regarding the submission application of the Go-Cloud grant, and also what's the available quantum of support that IMDA is providing to eligible SMEs, all these issues and questions, feel free to let me know. I'll be glad to assist you on your journey into Go-Cloud. Thanks. That's all.
Thanks, Richard. So thank you everyone for joining this session. So we've got Jayo's email ID as well, Richard's email ID on the chat. You have that as well, and we'll share the material as well on SGTech site. So if there's anything else I'd like to maybe just hand over to Wansin, and then Wansin can close out the session. Thanks for attending, everyone.
Yeah, thanks so much to our speakers and Guna for facilitating this Q&A, and thanks to our audience for your very active participation, right? So before we end, we just have a very quick survey that we hope you can help us to complete, right? This won't take long, right? Maybe just less than 3 minutes. Okay, and the good thing that comes with the survey is upon completion, you'll be directed to a link automatically where you can download a copy of the slides by our speakers today. Okay, so feel free to share that with your colleagues or your staff who might find this relevant. I'll leave this here for the audience to either scan the QR code or to log on to the survey via the URL here.
Wansin, could you maybe go back to the first page?
The first page, the previous slide.
Maybe after everyone has taken a picture of the QR code.
Okay.
The cover slide.
Okay. Yep.
Thank you.
Guna, you would like to say something here?
No, I just took a photo.
I see. Okay, sure. Okay, I can move back to the slides. Yeah, still have one more slide to share with the audience. Okay, so not to worry, we would again circulate the survey to the attendees today if you have not had the chance to complete it now, right? And before we end, I would just like to take this chance also to share a new initiative by SGTech where to help our SME members, especially during this challenging time. This is called the Star Fund, known as Stronger Together, Aiding Recovery Fund, which aims to help our members to support the digital transformation of other SMEs, right? So in general, this fund will provide assistance in generating revenue and sustaining business. And secondly, training support for employees. So we've started accepting applications from 1st October 2020. You may either visit the URL here or scan the QR code for more information. Right, so we are grateful for the support from Enterprise Singapore to make this Star Fund possible for us. Okay, and with that, we've come to the end of the webinar. I would like to once again thank our speakers and partners for this session, Google Cloud and Comrade for making this session possible for everyone. Right, so look forward to seeing all at the next Cloud Appreciation Series. Right, and with that, wishing everyone a good afternoon. Take care and stay well and healthy. Thank you so much.